Hey guys, the Kamsh here. Today we're going to be talking a little bit about Fatigue Warrior. As you know, cards like Deathbite and Deathlord are rotating out with the introduction of Standard. Just want to play this deck a few more times, a few more weeks, a few more months before it rotates out. Definitely a really fun deck, really good against a lot of face decks, pretty good against Zoo, stuff like that, and can definitely win control matchups as long as you play them right. So let's go ahead and talk about all the cards in the deck. We have two Execute, two Shield Slams, sort of our 1-mana removal spells. Really powerful, not that many classes get access to like 1-mana removal spells. And basically what you get to do is you get to kill something, like kill their 6-drop and develop one of your own cards. And that's just incredibly powerful. It's a good tempo swing. You have like these cheap cards that are trading 1-for-1 with huge things, and it's really powerful. Two Fiery War Axe and also two Deathbite. So weapons let you turn your life total into card advantage because you get 2 swings, which usually kills 2 things, and also board advantage because you're keeping their board clear. It's really powerful there. 1 revenge as a whirlwind effect, and also if you're low can be a lot more than that, a lot better than whirlwind in this deck. 2 armor smiths just to get lots of armor. You have a lot of taunts, so you can hide the armor smiths behind Belcher or Deathlord, get lots of armor. Also works well with your whirlwind effects like revenge, Geddon, Deathbite, etc. Next we have 2 bash. So the idea with Bash is that it gets you some armor. It's also a good remove spell. It's basically like a Dark Bomb or a Frostbolt that heals you, which is nice. And remember, it can also go to face, so you can find some lethals with it. 2 Acolyte of Pain. This is our card draw engine. This is a Fatigue deck. Deathlords will put your opponent ahead in Fatigue a lot, but really the only time you want to draw cards is against more aggressive or mid-range decks. Against control decks, you usually just don't want to not play out your Acolytes, like in the Control Warrior Mirror, for example, because you want them to Fatigue faster than you. You have Big Game Hunter, just to deal with big things, like Doctor Boom, etc. Double Deathlord, because it fatigues our opponent. We can balance out for it with Brawl. Some classes can't play Deathlord because they don't have a good recovery mechanism, but Priest can play it because they have things like Light Bomb, Arcanine Circle. We can play it because we have Brawl and Deathwing, so you can put both Deathlords out, they get the creatures, then we just Brawl, and they're just out cards from their deck. It's also incredible against a lot of aggressive decks. Double Deathbite. Again, we talked about it's the same principle as Fiery War Axe, but it gives us that whirlwind effect for extra clear or for Acolyte Armorsmith triggers. Tournament Medic. So we want a heal in this deck just because we are going really long, and Tournament Medic's great just because it can gain you almost not an indefinite amount of health, but as many turns as you have it out. That's how much health. It's not a limited number necessarily like Heal Bot. It's also a 1/8 4-drop, so it can get in there against aggressive decks, which is pretty nice. And then of course, if you play this, it lives a turn, then you play Justicar on 10, you can actually hero power twice in a turn, giving you 4 health, which sometimes can be relevant, Double Brawl, just board clear. You definitely want Double Brawl in any Control Warrior deck in this meta, just because Secret Paladin decks like that really play onto board. Zoo, and then since we're a Fatigue deck, we want, especially because of Deathlords, so playing 2 Brawls. Playing on Harrison Jones because there's a lot of weapon classes, especially Paladin, and Harrisoning a Doomhammer is one of the best feelings ever. Also lets us, even if Arena Lock Jiraxis is against us, we have a chance to win if we draw Harrison and, get back card advantage that we're losing because they're making a 6/6 every turn. Then we have a double Sludge Belcher. We want taunts because we want to survive. Also Sticky, leave something behind. And it's sort of this deck wins through Fatigue or just overwhelming aggro decks, so it doesn't have that many mid-range threats, but this is one of them. Can definitely just hit your opponent a bunch of times. Justicar makes our hero power a lot better. This is incredibly important in any of the long game mirrors, and also super good against aggro because you get the 4 health every turn instead of the 2. Double Shield Maiden heals us up 5/5, so it gets to attack and stuff, enables shield slams, stuff like that. Sylvanas just as a precaution against things like Tyrion, etc. If we've already used the Harrison, which big things, can sometimes steal something by shield slamming it. It's really useful. Baron Geddon, because it's good against a lot of the token decks and a lot of smaller decks, and really just a lot of the time, even if your opponent has big creatures on board, you can trade in such a way that Geddon gets a lot of value. And finally, Deathwing as our last resort. And this card is actually also really great against decks like Zoo and Paladin because it clears their board fully, which will usually be pretty big, and they don't really have that many ways to deal with it. So that's the deck. Let's go ahead and jump into some games.